Sopel's response, which we've read, says that these tweets were just a tiny percentage of his total number of tweets and retweets that he's made since he first had his account. He's now deleted those tweets. What do you say to that? Is that a fair argument that he's saying that Twitter is it's a fountain of different views, I think he says, or knowledge? What do you say to that?
I think it's pretty untenable, unfortunately, for him. I mean, what we're not talking about is one tweet that we picked up that we thought, he shouldn't have liked or retweeted that. I think from the beginning of this year, he kind of retweeted or tweeted roughly about 150 odd tweets since January. There was over 40 of those that we picked up that would absolutely cross our red lines in what we would either call conspiratorial or far-right content.
So that's about a quarter. So since the start of the year.
Since the start of the year. So this isn't. I mean, I think there is absolutely a pattern of behaviour there. Now, I can't say exactly why he retweeted something. I can't say that. We can't know why and if he agrees with these things. But he says he doesn't. He says he doesn't. There is then still a major question why it is that nearly a quarter of the tweets since the beginning of the year we would classify as radical right or far right or conspiratorial. That is a pattern of behaviour which I think really does ask questions.
And even, I suppose we can say, even if we leave that to one side since the start of the year, even if it is a small percentage of overall tweets, I mean, the fact that one were to retweet or like even a small percentage of things that were extreme doesn't really excuse the fact that these things are extreme, you could argue.
No, absolutely not. And also some of it is, as I say, extraordinarily extreme. Some of the tweets that have been liked or retweeted call for the expulsion of migrants. I think that's up to Sopel to argue why it was he either liked or retweeted that sort of content if he didn't agree with it. Because, of course, whether or not one agrees with it, it certainly amplifies that sort of content if it's liked or retweeted.
So to be absolutely clear, do you think it would be a problem, given this? Is it a problem that Sopel, or should there be questions asked about whether Sopel should be allowed to buy the Telegraph if that bid were to be successful?
I think there's absolutely enormous questions. I mean, I think not just us, but many people have raised concerns about the impact of GB News, for example, on our politics. I think the idea that an individual that has this pattern of behaviour on social media could end up with this huge British media jewel in some sense, the Telegraph, the Spectator, both extraordinarily influential within the Conservative Party. Yeah. I think at the very least we need a much better explanation than we've so far received about why someone is retweeting and liking this sort of content.
The Newsagents. This is a Global Player original podcast.